The NBA draft. Every single year, GMs select young talent to help their team improve, both for the present and for the future. But sometimes, these talents falter out and never really reach the potential that was placed on them. So today, we're going to give these GMs another shot to draft the best player they can 6 years later. If you're not new to the channel, I guess you've already heard this intro, but if you are new, make sure to subscribe. It's free and you're helping me out. So let's get into it.
The first pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons from Melbourne, Australia and Louisiana State University.
Although a somewhat controversial pick nowadays, Ben Simmons to me still remains the best player in this relatively weak draft class. Although Simmons, yes, has gotten statistically worse since his rookie year, I can't really say that he's become a worse player. On the contrary, he's definitely become a better player. Defensively, you could argue that Simmons is the best defender in basketball. Well, 6 years ago, that was definitely not the case. Although Ben Simmons, yes, has struggled a lot in the playoffs and that has hurt his stock quite a bit, it still has not hurt his stock quite enough to the point where he's dropped from this #1 spot. He's still the best player in this class by a small sliver. Although this is a relatively weak draft class, there still remains a debate between Jaylen Brown, who is averaging 24 points a game this year. He is really an elite scorer, but that's really all he does on the basketball court. He's not a very good defender. He's a terrible playmaker, doesn't really rebound the ball particularly well, which doesn't put him over Simmons, who on the other hand does everything but score the ball. And on top of Simmons probably being better in his last season, which was 2021, in his rookie year, he was easily better than all of these guys' best season. I don't think Simmons has gotten worse, as I said previously. It's just team fit is not it for him, and he's struggling with confidence. Let's just put it at that. So Ben Simmons still remains the #1 pick in my 2016 NBA redraft. And Jaylen Brown goes #2, as I stated previously. Let's go to 3.
With the third pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select DeJounte Murray from the University of Washington.
3 belongs to a player that you could argue is one of the most improved players this year. DeJounte Murray was on the verge of making his first All-Star appearance this year. Yo, editor Eternal here. DeJounte Murray actually did make his first All-Star appearance. He just made it as an All-Star replacement. Throughout his NBA career, he's been improving every single year. From a 3.4 point per game scorer in his rookie year to a now 20 point per game scorer in his 6th year. Or 5th year, he got injured in his 3rd. DeJounte does a lot of great things on the court. He's first of all a solid scorer, averaging 20 points a game on 45% shooting. Not bad at all. But he's also an elite rebounder, averaging 8 rebounds a game for a 6'4" guard, which is pretty impressive. And on top of that, he's also averaging 9 assists a game. And obviously, there's people that can assist the ball, but that doesn't mean they're a good playmaker. DeJounte is truly a good playmaker. And on top of that, he's also an all-defensive caliber player. DeJounte Murray is very, very elite. I may even argue that you should put him over Jaylen Brown. But the problem with that is Jaylen Brown has been very good for the past 3 years. DeJounte, on the other hand, has only really been deserving of a top 3 spot this year. So most teams, I'd assume, would go with a safer option in Jaylen Brown and Ben Simmons over DeJounte Murray. Though in my eyes, DeJounte Murray looks like a superstar, and he can easily climb up the ranks to #1 in, again, this relatively weak draft class.
With the 4th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns select Domantas Sabonis from Kaunas, Lithuania, and Gonzaga University.
The man that was just traded, I think, 2 days ago, Domantas Sabonis is one of the more underrated players in the league. Unfortunately for him, he plays on a very poor team, both previously and now, so he will always get overlooked a bit. But this year, he's averaging 19 and 12 and 5 on 58% shooting, 32% from 3, and 61% from the line. He's not that good at stretching the floor, but he's very good on the interior. In the actual draft, he went 11th, so moving up to 4, I mean, it's a really good pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder, though unfortunately for them, they did trade him.
With the 5th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Pascal Siakam from Douala, Cameroon, and New Mexico State University.
At number 5, we have Pascal Siakam. Siakam went 27th in the actual draft, making him the steal of this draft. Actually, one of the steals in this draft because there's multiple. He's a one-time All-Star. He's definitely the best player on the Raptors. He's averaging 29 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 48, 35, 74 splits. Played a huge role in the Raptors championship. He's an elite defender. Pascal Siakam does a lot of good things on the basketball court. Although I know a lot of people expected him to be better by this point in time, as after the Raptors championship season, he made an All-NBA team and was an All-Star starter. It's not really his fault the Raptors just became really bad as they've traded Kyle Lowry, and that year that they finished second was the weirdest thing I've seen in a while. Pascal Siakam does a lot of good things on the floor and is easily deserving of the 5th overall pick in my 2016 redraft.
With the 6th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Brandon Ingram from Duke University.
At number 6, we have the New Orleans Pelicans' Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram this year is averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 45% shooting, 35% from 3, and 82% from the line. He's a really good scorer and a solid playmaker. He plays on a poor team, as we all know, and he did make an All-Star a couple years back. I don't think there's any reasons that anyone can make to put him above any of the people above him. He's easily the best player on the Pelicans besides Zion, but he's been injured for way too long. And if he wants to get his career going, he probably has to leave soon.
With the 8th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Jamal Murray from Kitchener, Canada, and the University of Kentucky.
At 7, we have Jamal Murray. Jamal has been injured for the past 1.5 years, so that has definitely hurt his stock. Though, at the same time, I don't think it's hurt it too much to the point where I'd put him below Fred VanVleet, Malcolm Brogdon, Caris LeVert, or a couple of the other guys down on the list. But it definitely has dropped him from 5, I think is what I put him a 1.5 years ago. Last time he played, he averaged 21 points, 3 boards, 5 assists on 45, 37, 88 splits, and was a great second option to the superstar of Nikola Jokic. But now that he's out, the Nuggets are kind of terrible, and I hope when he comes back, the Nuggets start to pick up the pace. At 8, we have the first-time All-Star, Fred VanVleet. This year, he's averaging 22 points, 5 boards, 7 assists, 42, 40, 87, while being a very good defender. I take that back. Pascal Siakam was a huge steal, but Fred VanVleet was undrafted. Although at the current moment, in my eyes, he's a bit overrated, as I don't think he really deserved to make an All-Star team over Pascal Siakam. He's still a very good player, and he's taken another leap this year. In 2019, he played a huge role in their championship. Fred VanVleet has done a good amount of things in his career. Malcolm Brogdon, another draft steal, as he was picked in the 2nd round. This year, he's averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 45, 31, 86 splits. Although he's not having as good of a season as he did last year, as last year he averaged 21, 5, and 6 on 45, 39, 86 splits, which is a bit better than he's averaging this year. Just like Sabonis, they both played on the Pacers, which is unfortunately a really poor team. Brogdon is still a very good player. I think 9 is probably the right spot for him.
With the 10th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Caris LeVert from the University of Michigan.
At 10, we have another Indiana man in Caris LeVert, who was traded to Indiana from Brooklyn. He was the 20th overall pick, making him a steal, I guess. He's a great scorer, as he's averaging 19 points a game this year. But just like Malcolm Brogdon, he plays on the Pacers, which are quite a poor team. I would expect him to try to leave Indiana if he wants to win any accolades of anything, as I think Indiana is going into rebuilding very soon. I believe 10 is the right spot.
With the 11th pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic select Buddy Hield from Freeport, Bahamas, and the University of Oklahoma.
At 11, we have the Sacramento Kings, Buddy Hield. This year, he's having a really poor season, and that's definitely hurt his stock. Previously, I'd probably put him up to 8, but now he's 11. This year, he's only averaging 14 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 38% shooting, 37% from 3, and 87% from the line. In his best season, which is the 2018-2019 season, he averaged 21 points, 5 boards, 3 assists on 46, 43, 89 splits. He's the best shooter in this draft class and one of the best shooters in the league. And if he starts picking up the pace again, I could easily move him ahead of Caris, Levert, and Malcolm Brogdon. But at the current moment, I'm going to keep him at this spot.
With the 12th pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Malik Beasley from Florida State University.
And another guy that stock got hurt, Malik Beasley. This year, he's only averaging 12 points, 3 boards, 2 assists on 38% shooting and 26% from 3. Last year, he averaged 20 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 44% shooting. So, I would probably put him right behind Buddy Hield, but because of this poor season, I have to keep him down at 12. He is a great 3-point shooter, but a really poor defender. And Malik Beasley overall is a very, very solid player when he's playing well, of course.
With the 13th pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Jakob Poeltl from Vienna, Austria, and the University of Utah.
At 13, we have Jakob Poeltl. I hope that's how you pronounce it. He's having a really solid year. He's averaging 13, 9, 3, 61% shooting, and 46% from the line. Definitely a really poor shooter, but that's not what he's there for. He's a great rim protector big man, while also contributing some solid scoring, which is very important. He could honestly go above both Buddy Hield and Malik Beasley this season, but again, that's this season. Beasley and Hield have been historically significantly better. He is a very solid player, and 13, I don't think you're finding anyone better with this late in the lottery. Another center, and another very solid player, Ivica Zubac, I hope that's how you pronounce it, is averaging 9, 8, and 1 on 65% shooting this year, and 73% from the line. Just like Brogdon, he was a second-round pick, making him another huge steal. I feel like that's happened a lot in this draft class. He's a great defensive player. And 9 points, I mean, that's not that bad. He's a good rebounder as well. He's a very, very solid player. And that's especially what a lot of teams want. Especially my Warriors, but we can talk about that on a different day. So that does wrap up the lottery. If you guys do not agree with any of these takes, which I am pretty sure every single one of you guys do, please comment down below of what you would change. Nothing's personal, this is just talking basketball. Anyway, peace.